I absolutely do not like being employed. I absolutely don't like it. I absolutely hate it. Feeling very restricted instead of being free. Unbelievable. 4 months of a very intense winter season in a 5-star hotel in Zermatt is almost over. We have 2 more days to go. Reviewing this time, wow, there's so much that I would like to share about this specific season right now. It has been my 5th season in Switzerland, working in a hotel or in a restaurant. To be very honest, I don't really particularly like working in these kind of busy environments. I'll talk about that in a different video. However, right now I do have a very clear why. I have a very strong goal. And this is for me the reason I can quote-unquote endure these periods of intense work, because I have a higher goal. I know why I am doing this. One of the learnings that I had in this season, if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a strong why, it's gonna be more challenging. And by the way, I'm just talking from my own personal experience. I know many people would die to be in my position, to be able to work in Switzerland, to be able to have this experience that I have. Everyone who has a complete opposite opinion on this. This is the beauty of things. We don't have to concur or agree about everything in life. That's one of my biggest realizations within these 4 months. Now, with being 37, I absolutely don't like being employed. It is for me the most challenging thing that someone else is telling me what to do, when I can go on break, when I can go home, what time I have to be at work, basically trading my time for money. You know, when I was 20, it was a different story. I had no awareness whatsoever, but now with everything that I'm working towards and everything that I'm interested in, I'm just every time thinking, oh my goodness, I have to make it happen. I must do everything. I have to do whatever it takes to. The feeling behind the thing that I really want is freedom, being self-determined, do whatever I want, whenever I want it. And I think a lot of people can concur that this is exactly what they want. Another learning from this season here has been mind over matter. There is a will, there is a way. If you think you can or think you can't, either way you are right. For example, I had to share a room with someone else. There were no single rooms anymore available. And when I first heard that, I was like, honestly, I really don't want to do this. I like having my own space. I love being with myself, especially when you work with people all the time. Well, it was not as bad as I thought it would be. And it gave me an opportunity to work on triggers. And I have to be honest, a few times, maybe 2, 3, 4 times in this whole 4 months, there was something really, let's say, annoying me, or that I really felt like I need to be alone. But otherwise, I'm very grateful for this experience and that I overcame my own limitations on what is possible. And there's a great sentence: instead of needs, have mild preferences, which is great. You know, my preference is to be alone, to have my own space, but it's okay if it's not happening. The next thing I would say that really stood out for me this time, I'm not perfect, but being more at cause, not at effect in my environment, and being more aware when my thoughts started to, let's say, sink into some negative balls, that it's so easy for them to get bigger and bigger and bigger and make like an elephant out of nothing. There were a few situations, obviously, where I was reacting, I was super angry, I was triggered, and I know there are still some things to work through, but from my own impression and awareness, I've done a lot of growth. I would say I did grow a lot in this particular area to be more aware of my thoughts, be more aware of how I feel, and also be aware of triggers. Situations where I really like something keyed in and I really exploded in this moment. So I know I'm not perfect, and we are not here to be perfect. We are here to learn, to grow, but also to have fun. And this is something I'm super grateful for my coworkers. Sometimes it's just the best thing to have amazing people that you might not ever see again, but just having a good time at work, having some inside jokes and, you know, just laughing. And it was sometimes really funny to be around them. Sometimes you are getting into specific situations for you to become clearer on what you actually want, and also to show you that some environments are not meant to be for you. Honestly, I don't think that we have to go through everything and tolerate everything if we really feel inside that this is not our path. And so I'm very grateful that this became more clear for me. The irony and the paradox in this situation is that I will work in the summer season as well. I already signed a contract. That's quite the irony about that. I'm exactly where I need to be. You are exactly where you need to be. I'm still working towards something where I need some financial stability right now. It is the compromise that I'm willing to do, and even work even more on my energetics and on the triggers that are quote unquote keeping me limited or keeping me stuck. So it's a great opportunity. I'm gonna report more, but I really have to say that if I wouldn't have my training with the Global Information Network, if I wouldn't have my connections and my mastermind groups through people within the network, the situation would be different for sure. Having a goal, having a support network, having still your tools, right? Like reading books, listening to audios every day to refocus from this work. It's very crucial, at least in my opinion. That being said, I'm very grateful that this chapter is finished. I can't wait to have a little bit of time for myself, to work on my project, to work on my mindset, to be with myself, seeing my family before I start going back to Switzerland. And I would also like to know your experiences with seasonal work in hospitality in Switzerland, may it be winter seasons or summer seasons, maybe even in other countries. And remember, you are unprecedented and you can be, do and have anything and everything you want as long as you believe it.